Welcome to 502 Entrepreneurs, Louisville's podcast featuring local business owners, entrepreneurs, and side hustlers, all who have a story to tell. I'm your host, Carl Armijo, owner and operator of Carl Armijo Photography and Louisville Cleaning Pros. Our guest today is Ashley Chamberlain, the founder and CEO of Chamberlain & Good Company, whose mantra is, let us mind your books so you can mind your business. Her mission is to provide exceptional bookkeeping services while being a beacon of hope for those looking to transform their financial destinies. Ashley Chamberlain, thanks for joining us on 502 Entrepreneurs. It's awesome to have you here, and I'm excited to learn more about Chamberlain & Good Company and what you do. So
I am pumped for season 2.
Season
I'm
2
excited.
is here.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked for you. This is a really cool setup. I honestly would have guessed that you'd have a podcast. You just seem like a tech guy.
I don't consider myself a tech guy per se, but I do consider myself incapable of sitting still. So having other things to do and worry about is important for me.
I get that. I feel that so much. And you mentioned, you look like you didn't come ready for a headshot. And just so you know, I almost always look like this. So headshots or no, there are glamour shots out there. But that is a very planned situation. This is how I should show up every single day. And I wore my retainers. I was like, I know, watch out.
Lucky me.
Yes, very much so.
I think, you obviously have a home office. You work from home. Your business is very remotely based. So, having the ability to wear what you want when you want and not have to show out for anybody is pretty.
100%. I think it sets the tone really well when I show up looking like I can either go out, run errands, do something, or just be at home and be comfortable when I'm on a call with someone else. And so a lot of the times I attract moms, female business owners. And when I show up like this, it almost gives them permission to relax a little bit. Now, I'd like to say I did that intentionally, but I don't think I did until someone said, thank you for just showing up like a normal person and not making me feel bad that I didn't want to, get all dressed up. I also think it has to do with getting my feet wet growing up in construction accounting. I never dressed up for that job. I jeans and a high-vis shirt, and being a female in the construction world, you didn't want to call any attention to yourself that you already were. So it just kind of carried over.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, you may not know, or you may know my background, but I was in the construction industry for 11 years.
Makes so much sense.
And then project management for 5 years after that. So I'm super comfortable in jeans and boots and a hard hat.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I know how it goes.
Yeah.
I've kind of transitioned from that uniform to this other uniform where I wear, which is gray pants and a black shirt every day.
And you get to show your hair now. You have beautiful hair.
I get to show my hair.
Yes, that's fun.
But
well, everyone is thankful for that.
Yeah, I think it's super cool that people feel, comfortable, disarmed right away. Like they can just be themselves around you when they're talking about business. Because I know it can be intimidating. When a lawyer shows up and he's in his suit and tie, he's all buttoned up, ready to go, and you
can't compete.
That kind of stuff.
It almost, with the certain professions, being a lawyer, being an accountant, there is this wall that is put up when you dress like that. And I'm not saying there's not a time and place. I love to get dressed up if it makes sense. But there is a wall that comes up when clients feel like you're not someone I can talk to. You can't relate to me. You're in a nice suit and tie that I maybe have never owned, could never own. There's no relatability. And when you show up as yourself, whether that is leggings, and I know there's this ongoing joke in our networking group that I'm always in leggings, and I am, but there's more relatability. It's just be comfortable, and we're people too. And, let's talk about your struggles and work through it together. I'm a human being too. And it puts a little more permission in that. Let's just show up as you are and help you from there.
Yeah, I think that's great. So, let's dive into Chamberlain and Good Company. So that's your company.
That's me.
Explain to everybody what it is that you guys do, what you focus on, and, what you love doing the most.
Sure. So I get asked a lot about the name. So people say, like, who is good, right? Well, everybody's good. And when I initially started it, it was with the intention of letting people know that they're in good company. Like, you are the company, I'm the company, and it's all good. Now looking back, I'm like, well, that's confusing for people. But the intention is still there. I started this company while I was a CFO for a construction company, and was in a season of, where am I going to put my kids for school? We were new to the area. I wanted them to go to somewhat of a, I don't want to say prestigious, but expensive school. It costs money. So, if you go from public where it's free to now it costs money, it became an extra expense. And my husband is a musician and a truck driver, so he already had his things going on. I thought, what am I good at? Well, I guess I'm good at accounting. I started picking up a few books on the side, mostly family and friends, and realized the potential in being able to help people. I wanted to reach out and see where can I make the biggest impact with small businesses while being able to pay for a school. So I had started it before I even knew it was going to be anything. I didn't end up doing the proper things, which I tell people to do when they start. Getting your LLC, getting your EIN, getting the business bank account. I just kind of hit the ground. It's like, oh, well, I have a few clients. It's a thing. We got our LLC. I was still working at that other job for almost a year into it. And I was doing everything myself. I was trying every single kind of way to get clients. So what we do is bookkeeping, accounting, tax, fractional CFO, and social media. What we started as was just bookkeeping. I thought I can do that by myself. Once I started adding team members, adding clients, that greatly changed our scope. So today, I mean, we don't want to say we're a one-stop shop, but there is something that we do for any small business owner for sure.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm feeling the exact same pain that you felt back then right now with school, because our son has just started a new school, which is significantly more expensive than
sweet baby Jesus
the public school.
Yes.
So I mean, I feel your pain because I've started a second company, to try to help with that as well, which is right. Yeah. How are we going to pay for this school?
Yeah.
Cause we want him to be in the best position to succeed in life.
Yep.
And,
100%.
School's a big part of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where we're at too. So
it's so tough. Yeah. I think, so my husband and I grew up in public school. I mean, we did okay, but school 30 years ago was very different than school is today. And being from a different area, we were from Atlanta, Georgia. We just didn't, trying to figure out how Louisville does school felt so overwhelming as a new person coming in. The lottery system, I was like, are you joking? Give me your top 9 schools is what we were asked. And I thought there are 9 elementary schools in this area. And then to be told, maybe you'll get, the top 5. Why even ask me then? So that was a struggle. And then, we very much value faith in our family. So how can we set our kids up for success while we're going to be paying for it? So I am not great at budgeting my own books. And the only thing I could think of was add another stream of income. Now today, I'm just so grateful because I never saw myself as a business owner. Like, that was never in my mind. I come from W-2 parents, W-2 family. I was the first one to start a business. So you can probably imagine what their responses were when I said, I am actually starting a business and then I am actually quitting my job to do this business. They were like, are you insane? That is wild. So yeah, I always tell people, if you have a cushion, if you have something that kind of feels like your safe space, but you have this other idea you want to start, do it while you have a cushion. Because I'm not saying it might not work, but you feel so much safer taking those bold leaps.
Yeah, you have a safety net in case something doesn't work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've gotten a lot more support after the initial, hey, I'm quitting my job and move on to this thing? Do you feel like that support's, came at some point?
Yeah, I think it's still kind of a foreign concept. In the beginning, it was kind of how's your little like your side business going, or how's that like thing going that you started, and I think the best thing that I did and still do is just block out the noise, and kind of put your head down and do the thing. Because even today, and I have family employed, I mean, my family is now working for me, and they are the only ones, the ones that work for me, that truly understand this thing, this side hustle, if you will, is a business. What the glamorized version of being a business owner actually is. And I relate it to when I met my husband. He was a touring musician, and I used to get asked like, what's that like? He's a touring musician. Is he rich? Or, does he get to go to all these cities and they probably have a really big bus, and you glamorize like what a rock star is.
Right.
Now he was a drummer, which so sexy, but so not glamorous. It was the same situation with being a business owner. It was a small school bus turned into a stinky, like dirty, all these guys throw their stuff in this bus, and we're going to all chip in for gas because that's how we can pay to get there. Hope we get paid and then get home. So similar, there's this glamorized version of being a business owner that you can just do whatever you want.
Right.
Whenever you want. You can sleep in every day, and then you can just turn it off at you want to turn off at 4, then you can do that. Or you can have a short week. You should have long weekends. This idea in society that is not true, that being a business owner means more freedom in every part of your life. And sometimes it is like that for certain businesses, but I don't know about you. It's not like that all the time.
Yeah, I think it's tricky. There's a balance.
Yeah.
And it comes with the clientele, your family, setting boundaries, that kind of stuff. It's super easy for clients to think they have access to you 24 hours a day.
All the time.
And, you have to set boundaries for them that, hey, I still am running a business. I still have family. I have other obligations.
Yeah.
I can't be on call 24 hours a day.
Yes. And it's not, when you set those boundaries, if you don't set them from the beginning, what ends up happening is you are fighting for your life to try to set them later. Is it good? Okay. I just keep looking at the buttons. They're so fun. And so, to kind of come back when people ask, well, how's your little business going? The best response you can give someone is, it's going really well. Thanks for asking, because there are so many things that happen behind the scenes. Setting those boundaries has saved me so much. And unfortunately I had to do them later, because in the beginning I was, what do you need? Anytime. I will talk anytime. Yeah, we can negotiate your price, whatever it is. But now it feels like if you don't set the boundary, there is no boundary. So yes, I can very much relate with all the forms of communication, all the ways people can get a hold of you.
It's a lot.
You have to be the one to say, I'm done at this time. I started putting my phone on do not disturb starting at 8:00 at night, which felt crazy. Like, I'm still awake. I'm not going to sleep at 8, but if I don't do that, then I'm going to respond to my team because they all work wild hours.
Right.
So yes, boundaries, as soon as you can put them in, will save you so much heartache.
Yeah. Mine does that at 8:30 now.
Okay.
So
late nighter.
I'm not as good as you, but
a little later.
It still happens.
Yeah.
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 And
Finding the time. Yeah. And sticking to it too, because if you break your boundaries is what I've noticed, then everybody will. They'll think, oh, well, she doesn't respect those. And I did it because the type of setup of our company, we're completely virtual. We're cloud-based. And so any one of my team members can work at any time. Does not matter to me as long as the work gets done. I have a team of females. They're all women, all moms. Most stay at home. So during the day, they're very plugged into what are their kids doing? What's their family doing? What do they need? And then at night, they are superhumans of a different kind, because at night, I just start going downhill. Like my brain starts shutting off, but that's when they come alive. And most of the things we have a need for a code. And so they'll text, hey, can you give me a code? Hey, can you give me a code? And I wouldn't turn my phone on Do Not Disturb because I wanted to get the codes. And it all came to my phone. So I have to listen to the things I'm saying to my clients, like, well, you need to have boundaries and set those for yourself. And so I recently started doing that, and it feels so good. It feels really good.
I'm sure it does. Do you, as the business owner and, doing things, do you find yourself giving yourself time here and there to do things that you want to do that are outside of work? Or do you still have a hard time kind of putting that aside for, for half a day or whatever the case may be?
I think there are seasons when I feel that freedom of, well, I'm going to get this done during the day because I don't want to do it on the weekend. I'm a girly girl, so I like to get my hair done. I like to get my nails done. And I used to save all that stuff for the weekend. But then what would happen is I would work, 60, 70, 80 hours a week and then have all of these appointments on the weekend, and there was no rest, and I was no good when I would show up on Monday. So there is less guilt now. I find myself like looking over my shoulder, like is my client going to see me here and think I'm not working? That doesn't happen anymore. It did in the beginning because I felt, I'm not supposed to be able to do this. But what I found more recently with less guilt is scheduling it. Not just saying, oh, I don't have any Zoom calls this afternoon. I'm going to go do this thing. If I schedule it, I treat it like an appointment. And that ends up, it's such a mind thing, right? It ends up showing up on my calendar. I say, oh, well, I can't cancel this appointment, even if it's with myself. And I show up better when I feel like I'm taking care of myself. So I just keep projecting that. Like, if you take care of yourself, you show up better, and just keep doing that. It is hard though.
Yeah, I think that's super important. I do the exact same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So my calendar kind of dictates the day.
Yes.
But with that being said, all my clients can schedule online.
Oh.
So as long as I have something that I want to do, if I put it on my calendar, then it blocks it out. Yep. So they can't schedule me. So I don't have to worry about like, am I going to be missing out on something? I can go enjoy kind of the thing that I'm blocking off for that day. Right. Now it's taken me, 4 or 5 years to get to that point where I don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Same. but I'm getting there now, and it's kind of like,
it feels good.
Yeah. It's good to be able to do it every now and then.
Yeah. And my clients are online too. And so if I don't block the time out, then they could if I think, oh, I'm just going to go, and then something's scheduled and I miss it, well, then that's a whole different issue. It's you have to respect yourself just as much as you would respect your clients. If there's an appointment on the books, like, I'm going to be at that appointment for them. Like, why wouldn't I do it for myself? And I think leading by example, now that I'm not doing it by myself, and now that I have a really strong team, leading by example, what I've noticed shows them, like, you can also do this. The type of work that we do, it allows for time flexibility. So yeah, I ask them to be available during business hours, but if I see on their calendar doctor's appointment and the whole afternoon is blocked, I'm not going to schedule a meeting. They've got something to do. And me doing that shows them, like, oh, so we can do this, and we're not going to, get in trouble.
Right.
And it's formed this really cool culture with our team that projects onto our clients. So I didn't realize I was doing this. I'm intentionally and unintentionally at the same time building this environment that I wish I had when I was in the family making season of life and trying to work. If kid is sick or, the schools decide in the middle of the day, like this is when the parent teacher conference is and it's like 10:30. You're like, oh, that is not lunchtime. I always felt like I was either having to make up something or take the whole day off and then not have pay. I'm the default parent, so the schools call me first. Finn fell today. And I'm like, okay, like I didn't need to know. I'm trying to build the environment that I wish I would have had when I was in that stage, that family first. And just that lax, it's okay. This is real life. All of my team members, almost all of them have had babies while they've been with me.
Oh, wow.
I know. I didn't expect that either. But it shows me that they feel comfortable not only to keep producing and grow their family, but to come back. They love their job so much. They felt comfortable to have a baby, but also to come back after because they want to get back to it, that they actually like their job.
Yeah.
And that means everything.
That says a lot about you and your company, the company culture that you've built, that, they get that comfortability, the flexibility, and the trust to just get their job done.
Right. Well, yeah, that was the hardest thing to learn, having a completely remote virtual firm, how to set up systems to be able to keep track of the status of things without hovering. When you're completely online, there's no real way to know where they are with things unless something falls through the cracks. And so when you go from one person, me, all the systems live up in my head, to a team of 10, well, you got to have some strong systems so you don't feel like you have to hover. So that's what I think this season has been really focused on, is those systems that are needed.
Sure. What tools, what are you guys using for those systems to help keep track of everything?
Yeah. So in the beginning, it went from me to Whitney and myself, and Whitney is our CFO. She was also my best friend before. So I went against what everyone said. Don't hire your friends. Don't hire your family. I was like, I'm going to try it. And Whitney's still with us today. And so when it went from myself and Whitney, we weren't tracking time. We had a spreadsheet, and it was our client tracker spreadsheet. And every client had a tab. And we would put all the information on that. It was a beautiful spreadsheet. You actually would appreciate. You love a spreadsheet. I love a good spreadsheet. Yes, you are very organized. You're one of our favorites because you're so organized. So we use that spreadsheet for everything. We would track everything on there, but we weren't really tracking our time. We weren't billing the same way. As we grew, we outgrew the spreadsheet. When we realized we had to do this to get to the end, we were like, oh, that's not efficient. So we now use QuickBooks for time. That's how our employees log in. It's how we can kind of bill clients based on what the audit log says. So that's been a game changer. No more writing it down. Busy moms, busy people, you're not going to remember what you worked and what you worked on. So the time has been great. We use Monday for project management. So this was our spreadsheet come to life. This is where all of our client boards live, all the logins. There's so many logins, there's passwords, secret questions and secret answers, things like that. They all live in Monday. And so that also set us up for when and if and when, which I just never know these days, one of my team members has a baby, which seems to be frequent. Someone else can come in and take over and see all the logins, see the status, where are we with this client? Are we stuck? What tasks to do? Because every client's a little different. That's been a game changer too. So that's our project management. And then we use Go High Level as our CRM. So before it's so crazy to think about what we were doing before. We would create the invoice on Canva. We would send the invoice to the client in an email. And these were beautiful invoices.
You could do amazing stuff on Canva.
We felt pretty professional. And then we would say, here's your invoice. How do you want to pay? In an email. And they would say, oh, I want to pay with a credit card. We would panic because we didn't have a payment system. So we would be like, okay, well, we'll put that into QuickBooks. And it was such a long process. We grew up a little. I do miss the invoices. They were pretty. So we got Go High Level, which is our payment processing. It's where our website lives, which we might be outgrowing that soon. It's where all of our social media marketing, nurturing sequences, stuff like that. Go High Level is super robust, but for what it does, it's just been the best option for us. And there are a lot of things you can do in there. It's also one of the cheaper ones. So when we graduated from Canva and spreadsheets, we tried out a few, but none of them felt good. Go High Level has been the one that's stuck. So that's one we continue to use. And then we use QuickBooks. So QuickBooks Online is not only to manage our own books, our own accounting that we have to do. It's where we manage our clients. It is where our tax returns are done through that. And it's a love-hate. It's a love-hate relationship. But it's just one of the most used and easiest platforms that we found.
Yeah, but it's industry standard almost now, right?
It really is.
To do QuickBooks. So if you're a bookkeeper or an accountant, if you're not using QuickBooks, then you're doing something wrong.
It's how it feels. Yeah. There are a lot of options. There's new ones that pop up all the time. There's FreshBooks, there's Xero, there's Wave. We have one on Wave. There's so many different ones. QuickBooks has what we've noticed the most available training online. It's the most user-friendly. So we find that helps us educate our clients because we do try to educate, even if they're like, we don't want to do it. We're still letting them know what we're doing, and QuickBooks is easy to understand. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about my experience with Xero because I did not have a great experience there.
Xero is wild. It's the Wild West. It's like the Android, in my opinion. QuickBooks is the Apple. Xero is the Android. It actually was not a surprise that you were on Xero before.
Oh, man. I'm glad to be away from it and onto QuickBooks. I don't ever log in. I log into QuickBooks if I need to send an invoice.
Okay. And
that's about
it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I actually love to hear that.
So everything else, I'm like, just let
them
Ashley's team handle it. They know what they're doing better than I do. And
if
I log in and touch something, I'm sure I'll break it.
Yeah.
And so if I can send an invoice and then the money comes,
you're good.
I did it today.
Yeah.
I logged in today. I sent an invoice for like $2,500. Mm-hmm. Payment already came in. So now Quinn will be able to come in and just log it or do her magic.
Her thing.
Yeah. And we'll go on from there.
Quinn, I will tell you, you were the one that everyone was like, well, I'll do Carl's. I'll do Carl's because you were just one of the most organized clients. So, and recognize strengths, and I'm not even going to say weaknesses, but things you don't want to do. And Quinn very much enjoys it.
There's a lot I don't want to do.
Yeah, same. No, and you just got to stick to what you like to do during the day, and you knew things were being taken care of.
I think that's like one of the hardest things as a business owner.
Yeah,
is figuring out what you like to do, what you don't like to do, and then finding the right people to do the things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
It's taken me years to find, I don't know if the word like let control go, because like I don't have a problem letting somebody else do it. I have a problem paying other people to do things that I think I can do.
I can do this myself.
Yeah. And so that's like the problem. But like when it came to, all of a sudden my business got real big.
Yes.
Bookkeeping got to be this huge ordeal. And I was just like, I hate it.
Right.
I'm not keeping up with it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And like on time, right?
Yeah.
And I would be like, I'm going to do it once a month. I'm going to do it once a month. I'll just balance the books and be good to go. And then 7 months later, I haven't done my once a month for 7 months.
Right. Because you don't want to do it.
Because I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And
so, and it's tedious. It's most people come to us in a reactive state where there's very few that come to us that they're like, I'm going to start a business and I want to hire you to do it from the beginning. That's very rare. It's more exactly like you said, I've experienced growth and I can't do this myself anymore. I think I'm doing everything right. You didn't say that, but that's what some other people say, not Carl.
I was pretty sure that I had it all screwed up.
But your notes were so beautiful. We were like, we know exactly what's going on here. But most people, they just kind of wing it. They do tutorials and they feel confident enough to start, and that's fine. But then when they experience growth, or, they're just in a busy season and they want someone to come in, it is scary. Like I don't minimize how vulnerable it feels for people to open up their financials. It is kind of like, you're just getting undressed right in front of a stranger and hoping that it's received well. And we hear a lot, you've probably never seen this, or I hope you don't judge this, or I've done my best, all these shameful statements. And to that, we always just say, we probably have seen it and it's probably not as bad as you think. Or it is. And we just say, it's okay. We just blink a lot.
We'll just fix it.
Or it's going to be fine. But we've really seen it all. And so we just go in there, we have a strategy, we get it cleaned up, versus some people are thinking about this at night. Like, oh my gosh, I have got to get this done this weekend. I have got to sit down and look at my books, and I have to know how much money I have in the bank because I have no idea. Or I want to get a loan, but I don't even know how much money I'm making. I want to open up a credit card, but they're asking for financials and I don't even know if it's right. Like, we hear all those things and they're so valid, but that just shows that you are not in the season to learn this particular part of your business, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. There are people that can help you.
Yeah. Chamberlain and good company.
Yeah,
they're
that
the
would
people.
be us.
That's awesome. So what kind of lessons have you taken from growing a business from you and your best friend, Whitney, to now a team of 10 that's basically completely remote? Yeah. What's been, the biggest lesson you've learned doing that kind of thing? Because that's like a lot of people really nowadays, want to do things more remote, have a more remote team of people that can help them. So, what are some tips and lessons you've learned from doing that and actually being successful at it?
I learn something new every day. I feel like, I've got this. And then something changes, whether it's a new regulation, it's a new feature in QuickBooks. We have a new employee that isn't friends or family, and we're trying to learn what that's like. Processes that we're constantly changing. But the biggest thing I've taken away is, like, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. I love control too. I love to be in charge. I love to feel like everything comes to me, but at the same time, I hate it. And I have learned, just be uncomfortable for a little bit and you'll get through it. Trusting your team, setting the tone for, the right and wrong, setting the tone for how we communicate, how we show up, and watching your team follow is much more satisfying than saying, well, I'm doing all of it. Only I can do this because I'm the most knowledgeable. Like, I don't want to be the most knowledgeable. I just want to show up and do what I'm good at and, trust that they do that. So it's been a lot of uncomfortable conversations, and getting through that just feels so worth it. Just like being in networking groups. I don't love talking in front of people. And I think I can say I hate it. I think that's safe to say.
Can go that far.
I think I hate it. I did not consider myself a great public speaker. I would get anxiety and nervous and sweat and just feel awful. If class projects, your turn to present, I would RIP, pass away. Like, it was never my thing. And joining a networking group that you meet every single week and multiple times are presenting, whether it's an 8-minute increment or a 30-second increment, like, you have to do it and you want to do it, but it's terrifying. And forcing myself to do that every single week, it was like strengthening a muscle. And I wouldn't say I love it today, but I am much more comfortable with it than I was years ago because I've had to do it so much. Somehow I keep getting put in leadership positions to do it even more than the normal person. And I think it's just because I keep strengthening it every single week.
It definitely helps to practice no matter what it is.
Yes.
So do you have that same anxiety when it comes to talking to your team when you were bringing them in or starting, or was it, a different kind of anxiety?
I think because I hired friends and family, it was.
Is that why you hired
easier.
friends and family?
Maybe it is. Maybe subconsciously I thought, well, this will be easier. It feels harder sometimes to, I don't want to say present, but we have team meetings on Fridays and it's usually an hour long and I'm usually the one leading it. What I've found is shifting between personal and business relationships is a lot harder than I thought it would be. What is really nice is my younger sister works for me, Quinn, and she lets me know right away if I'm doing a good job or not. Humbling. And it's usually in real time. So, if I always prepare some kind of like opening statement, if you will, some kind of uplifting, this is what our wins are. This person said this about you, and I just wanted to praise you for that. And I usually feel pretty good about it. And I look down, I usually have my phone right there and I'll look to see if Quinn's texting me. Like, is she going to say you did a terrible job? Or is she going to do like, snaps, girl? Yes. So she tells me right away if it's good. It is terrifying to feel like you are leading your friends and family because, if you mess up or make a wrong decision, that is going to stay with you versus an employee or a client that you're like, oh, that sucks. And maybe you never see them again. No, they love to remind you if you did a good job or not. So sometimes easier, sometimes not. They are, we're all very similar in age. So we're all within 10 years of each other. We are all local, except for a few of them live further. Quinn lives in California. So I think the ease is their understanding. If I show up and I'm like, y'all ain't feeling it, like I'm not in the mood today, they're the ones that'll be like, too bad.
Do it anyway.
We don't care. Get it together. Versus employees, I might be like, oh, okay. Like, it's okay. They're not going to let me get away with anything. So it is pros and cons. Obviously more pros because they're still with me today.
Yeah.
I don't think I can fire them.
You can. It's just going to be an uncomfortable situation.
I think
on a business and personal level.
Yeah.
So, but,
it's much harder. It would be much harder. I haven't had to do that yet. So, hope I never have to. That would be awful.
That would be awful. But, businesses go through seasons, so you never know what's going to come. And things like that. My time in the construction world, construction projects they're the projects, right? They're seasonal. You go through a busy phase and then a down phase.
Yep.
So we always had to lay people off as the projects were winding down, right? It's the nature of the business. Yeah. Most of them knew that and understood that, because that's just the way it is. But it's still uncomfortable every time. I hated it every time. But, at some point you kind of get used to it and comfortable with it. Yeah. I haven't had to do it for years. So, now I'm sure it would suck. Yeah. But back then it wasn't as big of a deal. It was just part of life and business in that world. But now that I've owned my own companies, it's a different scenario. I always feel like it's my obligation to keep them working, keep the work in front of them, keep them busy, keep that paycheck coming to them, get them as many, my employees hourly, get her as many hours as I can. Yeah. When the hours are slower on some weeks, I really feel bad about it. That kind of stuff.
Like you have to make up stuff to do. Yeah.
And so, it's tricky to do that kind of stuff.
It really is.
And it's not my family. And so I'm sure
it's a different kind of tricky though. Yeah. It is. I've had to fire some people before. I've had to lay them off. Not so much for lack of work, but just wasn't aligned with our culture. And it was not fun. And it really showed me how different it is as the owner to lay people off, to fire them, let them go versus an employee working for someone else. And so when I was an employee and I had to lay someone off, it didn't feel personal.
Right.
I mean, I could like the person and be like, this sucks. But it felt like I was speaking on someone else's behalf. And that was kind of a safety net. Like, oh, it's not me. I think you're great. I mean, I didn't say that, but I was thinking.
Right.
But now it's like if someone's getting fired from our company, like they know it's coming from me.
Yeah.
Like
The buck
I'm
stops
the
with
one.
you.
Yeah. Like, oh, that guy, like it's me. So it's a little trickier.
It is trickier.
Yeah.
So, bookkeeping, fractional CFOing, which I don't even think I know what that is. So maybe you can explain that at some point.
Yeah.
Taxes. And then you've also moved into like social media management. So like what brought that into like the mix? Because it feels like it's like a little bit
what are we doing
out of the ordinary for
like
maybe
why?
a bookkeeping company or a tax company kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. What are we doing? We can't sit still, Carl. Like you.
I feel that. I get it.
It's hard. So we kind of look at it like what does a business owner need from the start to thriving? And in the beginning, there is a need for, we're going to say, more organic marketing. How can we get our name out there? It used to drive me crazy because people would say, well, we can pay you an exposure. And I'm like, but exposure doesn't pay my rent. But
photographers feel that pain. 100%.
This is for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's for me. And so we really wanted to nurture that concept. What do they need from start to finish, start to thriving? And bookkeeping is something that people should start from day one, first sale. And bookkeeping is record keeping. It's what are you spending your money on and how are you making money? And even if you don't have a fancy schmancy system in the beginning, keeping track of it is so important from the very beginning. You will not remember what you did 6 months ago, maybe not even a week ago. And so keeping track of that is so important. So that's a big part of the bookkeeping is just records, making sure you're spending and we're allocating things to certain accounts and how will that affect you with your tax liability? They all talk to each other. The accounting part is, bookkeeping is data entry. Accounting is analysis. So looking at your reports, seeing trends, seeing where maybe you can save. Maybe you accidentally signed up for 2 subscription services and they do the same thing. That happens all the time where people, they're like, well, I have Melio, but then I also have bill.com. And we're like, why? And they're like, oh, I didn't even realize I was still paying for it. So trying to catch those redundancies really helps. Also for fraud. So a big thing with us is we want to see what went through your bank account and what's showing up on your accounting system, because fraud, those spammy messages are so common right now. I've seen it so much. It just angers me where you'll get an email and it'll look legit. You'll think, oh, this is a vendor I work with all the time. Maybe 1 or 2 characters will be off. And they'll say, we want you to pay this bill. And so you send them your information, you pay the bill, you think, okay, good. When we go to reconcile, when we go to look back at the previous month, what did you do? And we see a charge come out of your bank account, but it wasn't in your QuickBooks, we question it. Why? What was that for? And we can start doing some investigation and conversation. So that happens a lot, unfortunately. So that's like the accounting part, the analyzing part. Everyone knows what taxes are, and it sucks for everybody.
They're the worst.
It really is. How can we lower the liability? Should I be an LLC or an S corp? What does that mean? The TikTok bros always throw these ideas out there, and then they come back, well, this guy online said, and we have to talk through that because sometimes there are things I've never even heard of because they don't exist. Right now I'm getting asked about the big, beautiful bill. And I'm like, God, like nothing is happening yet. Like we don't know. It's too soon. And it's hundreds of pages to go through. So we try to help people when it comes to the tax part, not just by filing, but also educating. The fractional CFO is for people that need high level situations. So the client that we have now that I'm working on, is top of my mind because I was working on it today. They are a big construction company, and they want their financials to be reviewed every month. They want me to look at every account, make sure that their journal entries went in correctly, because that happens a lot too. If there's an accounting team, maybe they're not super knowledgeable on the journal entries. I'm reviewing that. They want help with HR. They don't want an HR person, but they want help with their employee handbook, with their current benefits package. They want someone to review that and make sure that they are staying compliant. So that's a big part of it too. Audits. And I know that's like a cuss word. People get
Nobody
antsy.
wants to hear that.
Audits don't have to be a bad thing. Audits are a normal part of business. So if you have a big construction company, you probably can relate. You're going to have a lot of audits. There are going to be at least 2 a year, one for work comp, one for general liability. And it's going to be some kind of man or woman that comes into your office and wants to see a bunch of stuff. No business owner wants to sit and go through that. It is super stressful. It is a lot of information. So that's something that I would go through for them, give them all the information, make sure they're compliant, all the things, all the COIs, the certificates of insurance, just keeping all that together is a big part of the fractional CFO. A lot of strategy meetings. You know, what were we making a year ago, 3 years ago? What are we projected to make for the rest of the year? Is that good? Is it bad? And why? So that's a big part of that. While that might seem like you're good, just stop there. I was like, let's get spicy and do something else. We have a pretty solid social media process from creation of the content, of the graphics, to production. We use Go High Level and we schedule a lot of the posts out. We use Canva for all the graphics. We use Chat, and I think my assistant found another one she really likes too, for the content creation. We found that business owners felt like if I have a VA, I can have them do social media. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes your VA is not a social media content creator, but they can be a content manager, meaning they post it, but they're not going to create it. So we love the creation part. That is probably what brought us to it. We're getting to know these clients. We know their books. We know what their industry is, what they're doing, what they want to do. And that is what we use to create the content. The problems that they are telling us, the construction client, we just don't want to be the most expensive, company, but we don't want to be the cheapest, and trying to find that middle ground. So we find out what is the market rate and we make content about that to highlight that client. Hey, we're middle of the road, guys. There are people that are cheaper. There are people that are more expensive, but this is why you should go with us. And we just keep content surrounded about that to show the audience they're likable, they're relatable, and they're trustworthy. So that's just kind of it does feel like a little left field, but something that I think business owners need is someone that can speak on their behalf and keep them visible.
What platforms are you guys using or posting on this content on? Are you doing blogs? Are you making videos with TikTok, or what are you guys doing?
So I love Facebook. I'm old.
You a boomer?
I am. I think I am. Facebook, as far as business and business and relationships, seems to be one of the most widely used outside of LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is more of a professional approach too. It just requires more plugging in. So we do Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, light TikTok.
Light.
Because TikTok changes so much. So with Instagram and Facebook, even LinkedIn, we can see trends and we can kind of follow those and go towards that. TikTok trends, algorithms change every single day.
Yeah.
And it feels like if we're posting for someone 3 times a week, every time we go in, it's a different trend. It is not the same format. 7-second videos are where it's at. No, 3-minute videos are where it's at. Or people want to see text on screen. No, they just want to see 2 words on the screen. It's a lot more maintenance. We can do it, but it is a little tougher to follow with the algorithm. So we do that. We post on the normal ones. We've had someone ask us about X, and I'm like, I just feel like that's not a good place for business relationships. But maybe someone can prove me wrong. I don't think so. I don't love that. But then we also help with blogs. So I think blogs are making a comeback. Blogs are heavily a part of your SEO. The
Right.
keywords, what are our taglines? There are words that connect to search engines that are needed on your content so people can find you. You might think, well, I don't need to be number one. I don't care about that. The problem is when people go to find a person, if people say, I want a photographer, not a family one. I want a headshot photographer.
Right. Exactly.
Headshot. Business. looking for a business guy. And they type it into Google. If your business page, your website, your content doesn't have any of the words that they just searched, you might not show up right away. And I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not going to like page number 7 to find a photographer. Like I skip past the sponsored ones for some weird reason. I'm like, no, you're not getting my money.
You're just automatically.
I don't know why.
You're
not
going past them.
Money for some reason. But I want to see who are like the top 10, and I can handle that kind of search. So that's why it really does matter what's on your website, what content you're putting out, and how you're wording it is so important. So we're just trying to help people, get that word out for them.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're helping people with their visibility, their SEO, just through content.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes. And it's where you're involved as much as you want to be. And we make it on a Google Doc. We have nice tabs on the side, week 1, week 2. And they are a part of it. So they have access. If they can put comments on the side, if they're like, well, that doesn't really sound like me, or, I don't really say slay. I'm working construction. I'm like, what? We just make changes and we find the tone that fits so they can feel the best about it. Cause we do want them to feel like it's personalized.
Right.
And we'll take slay out. But yes, it's very as hands-on or hands-off as they want.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what's been your favorite part so far about being a business owner?
Oh, that changes daily, right?
What is it today?
Today, so my kids have not started school yet. They are home this week. And while that's not my favorite part by any means, they need to go back to school. My favorite part is that I'm able to be okay with the fact that they're not in school yet. Before, it's so the summer camp versus when school starts versus what kind of childcare availability there is. It is such a game. So before, when I was reporting to an office every day, my kids were in camps, and the camp hours, someone needs to, you can drop them off at 9.
Friendly.
Like, okay, I guess I'll get to the office at 10. So like 9 to 4. And I'm like, by the time I get to the office, I'm like turning around. I'm going to lunch. I'm turning around and going, I'm not eating lunch actually, because I just had to use my lunch to be able to drop them off at 9. It was very stressful. Most of the time, summer camps would end, and there was like a week and a half that there was no childcare.
We're in that season right now. We had 3 weeks.
3 weeks. It's sinful. It's not okay. What are we doing? So there's this lack of childcare situation, and it would stress me out, because what that meant was I was either paying someone way more, or I was having to take that was my vacation. And that was an awful feeling. Like, my vacation is the week before my kids start school, and then they go back to school, and it is wild, wild west territory when they go back to school, because everything is different. There's moving parts. My favorite thing right now is the fact that this is happening. All this stress you see is from prior years. I think I'm just traumatized. But this year, not only because my oldest is at an age where he can be home alone, he's with little one today, I don't feel that same kind of anxiety. Like, I knew they weren't going to, my youngest, he's 7. I knew he wasn't going to have camp this week. But that was something, as I saw it approaching the calendar, I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to figure this out? What I did think was, oh, well, I'm not going to like go a lot of places, because my 14-year-old, he's responsible enough, but he is not going to wake up till noon.
Right.
So the morning time, if I'm there, it's fine. So it just feels so much, there's so much joy that I don't feel that stress. Now, is it fun to have him there? No, absolutely not. Does he have Zoom etiquette? No. He wakes up with no clothes on when I'm on a call and he's like, hey, but the fact that I don't have to stress about childcare, pay extra money, like it's all good. I just had to change my schedule.
Right.
And that felt really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the flexibility that people want when they start a business.
Those are the rock star moments.
Right.
Those are the green room moments where you're like, I'm a rock star. I want to go to your green room. I want to see your snacks. And those are the moments. And I will take those any day because that was just, your schedule changed. It's frustrating sometimes. Like, oh my gosh, you eat 3 meals a day? What's going on? Like you have to work through it. But it's so much easier. It is, I will never go back. It was so stressful to feel like my husband's not the one that he's like, well, it's your problem, figure it out. Like that's not him at all. He is, how can I help? And being the mom, I felt like I had to say, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out as I'm dying inside. So now it's not like that at all. Now it's okay. Well, I'm just going to have Zoom calls in the morning. And then if I need to run errands or go to a cool podcast, I'll do that in the afternoon. So there's so much breezy feelings with that. And I try to allow my team to feel that same way. Like, these are the benefits of it. Oh, you can't make it to our team meeting because your child is having a meltdown? That's fine. They have their own little minds. Let them do what they need to do. There's always kids running around in the background. Usually there's a camera, like you feel like you're watching the Blair Witch Project or something, and you're like, oh yeah, you like turn your camera off. It's the like, let's just be human beings and it's okay. And those are the green room moments for sure.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel very similar.
Yeah. How old is Aiden?
He's 14.
Oh,
yeah,
they're the same age.
Yeah.
Is he sleeping in?
He does not.
Oh.
He loves to wake up.
Oh.
So he's up early.
Come on now. He loves to wake up. I think I like waking up too. It's always like, oh, thank God I woke up.
Yeah.
But the sleeping in has been an adjustment. Brody is sleeping. But he stays up late. He's up super late. Yeah. I think he went to bed at like 2 or 3.
Oh man.
But then he'll sleep till like noon.
Right.
I'm like, are you okay? That's a lot.
If Aiden was up till 2 or 3 in the morning, I wouldn't be sleeping. Because there's like a loudness factor involved.
Right. Yeah.
So
okay.
We force a bedtime. It's not you have to fall asleep bedtime. It's you need to be in your room.
Okay.
Bedtime.
Collect yourself.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Kind of situation.
Yeah. Ours loves being in his room. It's in the basement.
Okay.
So he's just a little gargoyle down there. And he can do his own thing.
Does his own thing.
Yeah. A new game came out. So he's been really going hard on that. But it's nice because this was the first summer he slept in really late. Like normally it was 9 or 10 when he was a little younger, but this summer it was like 12 and then it was 1 and I'm going down there like, are you alive? Yeah. Are you okay? But me being home, I just felt like, oh, it's okay. Just be a kid. Like I had parents that, didn't want us to sleep in. There were 5 of us. They were like, no, we're not going to waste the day. You're getting up at 8 every single day, no matter if it's summer. And I hated it. I wanted to sleep in every day. I love sleeping. And with Brody, him sleeping in makes me feel good because I'm like, oh, he can just be a kid.
He's just doing what I wanted to do.
Doing it. I know. I'm living vicariously through him because he gets to sleep in.
That's good stuff.
It's fun.
So that's great. So I want to tell people where they can find you because I know you've got a couple things going on. You've got your own podcast as well.
Yep.
So you can tell us about that. And then where can people find you as well? If they're just needing a bookkeeper or a fractional CFO, which we all learned is what that is today.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird one. So we are pretty plugged in. We have a beautiful website, chamberlainandgoodcompany.com. We're constantly changing it because I am a visionary and I want it to look different all the time. But it is beautiful. That's a good place. There's contact us forums on there. We are on social media, Chamberlain and Good Company. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We are on TikTok. I know, that's embarrassing. And LinkedIn. So, we're very active on there. You can send us a DM. And I say we because my assistant also goes into my social media. And so if I don't pick it up, she picks it up. So anyone can reach out if they have questions. We have a Facebook group as well. It's called Mind Your Business and Your Books. And that is, kind of a different avenue. If people want to plug in and they want to learn versus outsourcing, they can join that group. We're pretty active in that too. We just live online. We're just
Seems
online
like
people.
You guys are just like...
We have good systems to allow us to have that presence without actually having to be in front of the computer. And then we do have a podcast. So we have a podcast called In Good Company, and we do very similar things. We talk to business owners, ask them the why, the how, where they've been, what are they doing? And that can be found on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. That's the places.
All the places.
All the places. There's so many. There's places I've never even heard of, but those are the places. And we're always wanting to interview business owners. So you better not ghost me.
I won't. We'll do it.
Okay. Because you have to get on there.
I'll be there.
You'll be there.
At some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
so
not my fault that last time you canceled.
I know.
So
I know. So
I'm not sad about
this.
it or mad about it at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were mad. You said people always think I'm mad at them. I didn't think that. But then when you said that, I was like, oh, should I? I don't know. So yes, plug in, find us, online. We love just getting to know what people are doing.
So cool. Awesome. Yeah. Well, Ashley, I really appreciate you joining us today on 502 Entrepreneurs.
Cool.
Awesome. It was great.
Love it.